don't know how I'm going to make it all fit. These 3 boxes did not make my life easier. I'm not tall enough. Ah, I'm okay. Let's build some bookshelves. Hello my loves, if you're new here, my name is Lily. I am an anxious girl who loves to read, and if you're not new here, then welcome back. We are building some new bookshelves because I did move. I am now living with my mother. Don't know for how long, don't know when I'll be moving out. It depends on a lot of different factors. But until then, I need somewhere to put my books, and that is going to be where those boxes are standing right behind me. And I just received the bookshelves today, like a couple of hours ago. So let's unpack those boxes, get building, call me Bob the Builder, and then let's decorate my new bookshelves, which I'm very excited for. This is like the best part of moving. Yeah. So let's go. I removed all of the boxes that were right here, and this is where the bookshelf is going to go. So we're going to remove that shelf now, and the shelves are going to be, if you can focus, right here. And this is what we're working with. There's 3 more boxes. I can't count, that's 2, that's 3. Out in the hall that I'm going to bring in and unpack once we've got the bookshelves up. But we've made some progress. They no fit. To be honest with you guys, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to make it all fit. I think I overestimated my bookshelving abilities. Like 11 at night, but I am getting somewhere. I have started. The Roman shelf is almost done. We just have some free space down here. I didn't have nearly as much Romans books as I thought I did, and then I've only just started on the fantasy shelf. So in this one it's only gonna be fantasy, and in this one only Romans. So all of the books that were on the bed and on my bureau are in the shelves now. They probably won't look like this when it's the finished product because I have 3 more cartons of books. But I am going to deal with that tomorrow because it is 11 at night and I need to eat something because I haven't eaten anything since lunch and I am wrecked and I can't think clearly. But it's starting to look like something, so I will check back in with you guys tomorrow and show you the last bit of the process and then the finished result, and I will do a full book tour when it is done. So good night, I'll see you tomorrow. It's the next day and I haven't gotten started on anything. I had a slow morning. I am really starting to you know, feel that I have moved and that it's been super busy and stressful for like 3 weeks now. So I am like slowing down in pace a little bit, but I feel like I need to just to like for my own well-being, which is fine. But before I unbox the last 3 boxes of books that I have and we put the final touches on the bookshelf and then I give you guys a book tour, we do have our first new book for the shelves. So I'm not spoiling the bookshelves for you just yet, so that's why you're in the bookshelves right now and you're seeing our messy home at the minute. But let's open our first book package for the new shelves. Ooh. Why am I acting like I don't know what this is? I know very well what this is. But look at how pretty. It's The Bribe. I always say The Bride, but it's not The Bride. It's The Bribe by Devney Perry. I am obsessed with Devney Perry. Like, after I read her Indigo Ridge, Juniper Hill, I think it's called the Eden series or something like that. I love that series. I plowed through that, and then when I was home, I think it was over Christmas or shortly after Christmas, I read her Treasure State Wildcat series, I believe it's called, and I flew through those 4 books in like 3 days. I was absolutely obsessed. There's a reading log of me reading those. I think it's my how many pages do I read in a week, or can I read in a week video, where I read those, and I just absolutely flew through them. I was obsessed, and Devney Perry's writing just really vibes with me. I like characters, and it feels cowboy-y. I haven't really read it. Oh yes, no, I have read the blurb, because the blurb was giving... Which of them is it? I'm looking for them. I don't know where anything is on my shelves at the moment. Before, you know, when you've had your shelves for a while in the same like way, you like think of a book and you're like, I know exactly where that is on the shelf, and I'm like, where are my books? Where are they? Wait, they're up there. It's so weird to have romance books high on my shelves too, because I've always had them in the lower part, so that's also, I'm getting used to that. Is it Wild? Oh, I've put them in the wrong order. I need to change that. I've put the 3rd book second and the 2nd book third. But it's in Wild Eyes. This blurb reminded me of Wild Eyes. Now, this was released before Wild Eyes, I believe, because this came out in 2020. And it says that Duke Evans didn't expect to interrupt a beautiful woman in a staring contest with a bison on his favorite hiking trail. He also didn't expect to see her again after rescuing her from the Sally Beast. And Wild Eyes, I do believe it's Wild Eyes, that begins with the main male character seeing a beautiful woman standing on the side of the road, videoing or photographing a bear that has a cub with it, and he has to like rescue her so the bear doesn't attack. And that was kind of similar, but I do believe Devney Perry did it fast, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. They differ from each other, it seems, in many other ways. But this is a series, and I had 15% off on Amazon if I bought 2 books, and I was pre-ordering Ashley Poston's new book, Sounds Like Love, which comes out in a couple of days. So I was like, why not? Why not just... like a Devney Perry, like cowboy-esque romance for summer. I feel like that's exactly what I need. So this is going into the shelves. My Devney Perry books are in one of those boxes that I need to unpack today. Like, this cover is really vibing with me. I love it. The only bad thing is that I'm probably gonna want the 2nd book immediately after I read this, but I'm not picking it up just yet, so it's fine. It's gonna have to wait. My belly just made a noise. I don't know what's happening. I'm just a mess. Like, honestly, I am a mess. I look a mess, I feel a mess. I am a mess. It's been too much for little Lando Norris to handle. Like, God. definitely complicated matters. Also, I threw my hair up because I just couldn't be bothered with having it down anymore, and I don't think anyone looks pretty when they're redecorating their bookshelves and moving. Maybe a lot of people do, I don't. But this, yeah, these 3 boxes did not make my life easier. Right, this needs to go in the TBR cart. But no, please don't. But eventually this is going to need to go into the shelf. But for now it needs to go in the TBR cart. How do people... I've never had a TBR cart. I've just had books in my TBR... Like, not had it as TBR, but just like a cart with books in it. How do you do it when it's a TBR cart? Because the TBR books, once they're no longer on your TBR because you've read them, eventually need to go into the shelves. How do you make room for them on the shelves then? It doesn't, like, make sense to me. But you are going in the TBR cart then, I suppose. These 2 that are the problem, they are the ones causing me issues. I don't really know what to do now because I need... Oh god, my hair is looking crazy, bear with. But I need to get some books on the roof of the shelves. But I am not tall enough to reach the roofs of the shelves. So I'm gonna need to carry in a chair. But then how am I gonna reach the books from the floor that need to get up? It's the math isn't mathing. I don't know how to do this. I'm also looking for some boxes, like pretty boxes that I know I've packed that I need because they're going to be on the roof with books in them. I'm not making any sense, am I? I don't think I am, but like... Oh, we have more books in here. That's just lovely. It's these. It's my beautiful Hunger Games books. And they're gonna need to be on the roof of the shelves. But they're in a box. These could work as like one of the... What's it called? Like to keep the other books from not falling off. These are kind of heavy actually. But how am I gonna get them onto the roof? I can't. I'm not tall enough. Wait, it's working. It's working. Please don't fall on me. It worked. I did it. I'm a superhero. Oh, the books. Oh, Jesus. Maybe not like that. That feels like a fall risk. Yeah, that feels dangerous. The books kind of almost fell out when I did that, so maybe we need to push them in a little bit, not all the way, but just a little bit. That's looking better. We need... Hello, I can't speak English, please. We need that one too. I did it! Now I just need to do that with these 2. Not all of them though. Not like all, but some of them. These are going in the bottom row. Along with probably these. And these if I can fit in. We're doing it. We're doing it. Positivity. It's not my strong suit, but I'm trying. I did a lot of it without the chair. I have now brought a chair, but there's too many books left, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit them all in the shelves, which is a problem. I don't know if I can film when I'm doing this, but I am now standing on the chair praying that I don't fall off. So I am trying to think about what books I want where, because I've only placed the hardbacks now. I've kind of placed them a bit forward. So maybe I need to put books behind them, but then I can't see those books. which is sad because they're very pretty books. Or else we push these books all the way back, perhaps. Maybe that's what we're going to do. Oh, please don't fall off. I don't want to fall. Oh, God. That did not work. Ah! I'm okay. I think that was iffy, but we made it. I think the biggest danger for me is like when I'm stepping off and onto the stool, because that's like dangerous. I am sweating. Not necessarily because this is difficult. What was that? But mostly because this is nerve-wracking. Like, this is making me anxious. Hence the sweating. Alright, maybe not you. Maybe we'll lay you down like that. And maybe we'll move you. You don't really want to be moved though. And maybe... I am speaking to myself. I am aware of that. But that is what I do. That's kind of... hello? Kumbalada, kumbalada, hoopala, blah. Nothing said nothing. Maybe we do that. Maybe that's gonna look disgusting. I have no idea. I don't know what's pretty and what's not anymore. I don't know anything anymore. My brain isn't braining. Like, or maybe my mother is going to hate this and be like, you have way too many books. You're never allowed to buy a single other book ever again. Then I'm gonna be like, I need to move out. No, my mother loves my love of books. She's gonna be fine with this. But now what do I do with the romance books? Because these are all fantasy books. And I have 2 piles of romance books left. To be fair, it is just Twisted Love though. And Lily Gold, and I love Lily Gold's books. So maybe I can, I haven't tied my pants. They're falling down. That's not a nice view. Not that anyone is seeing it, but I'm feeling it. Ooh, maybe we're gonna put Gail up here. Well, is she gonna get really dusty up here? I hope not. Can you sit there? Or are you too fat? Maybe you're too fat for that. You're a thick bitch, Gail. But I love you for it. Maybe you can sit right there. Oh, that's cute. Then I can bring you down if you're... to make sure you're not getting dusty. I love that. What I don't love is that I still have books. And this isn't looking that pretty. I would prefer if they didn't have to sit in front of each other. But beggars cannot be choosers. And I can't turn them like that because then they're just gonna fall down. So that doesn't work. And I can't really stack them on top of there because the dust jackets will be damaged. I can't really stack higher like that because that feels like a safety issue. So that means I'm out of options, which sucks, other than rearranging the shelves entirely, but I don't really have the energy for that. Daisy Jones, what am I gonna do? Where to put you? What am I gonna do with you? You were annotated? I annotated you? I did not know that. I have issues, which we already knew. That's not news. Why am I still standing on the chair? I feel like I'm gonna fall off. Maybe these books need to go into the cart, but I wanted the cart to be empty so that I could point that out to my mother and be like, look, I have an entire cart left to fill. I can buy more books. But that's not gonna work now. Although these will take up like one level of the cart. Maybe not even that. That argument could still work. Now the question is, what am I going to do when that argument no longer holds because the cart is full? But that is a later issue. Do not steal tomorrow's problems. I think someone said that once. Start with my little bureau, shall we? We have a little like gardening house, and in here we have my classics. We have also bought new posters for this. We're gonna have a wooden frame that's gonna match the wood in the living room table. And then we're gonna have the 7-year slip poster in here, because I got 4 frames that I get to put posters in, and then Mum gets to choose all the other ones, or they remain the ones that she has chosen previously. So we're gonna have a like pink, it's a pink background, and then there's lemons on it with pink and white flowers and some greenery, and it's gonna have a 7-year slip quote beneath it. I ordered it from Etsy, so we just need to print that as a poster, because I have the like files and everything, because it's a digital download. So that's gonna sit above these. And there's Jamie Faggis, a little child. But I think that's gonna be beautiful. And as I said, it's gonna be a wooden frame, because that's gonna go with the living room table that's very messy right now. But then we have my TBR cart, which these are all the books that I have not yet read that I own. And then down here, some of them ended up, but as I said, they barely fit in one single line on one side. So I can definitely fill this a lot more. We can start on the roof up here with Gale to start with. And here's like some YA fantasy, it's all fantasy. And then we go into my hardbacks, some of them. Some are special editions, some are not. And that is the roof. Then we're going into the first floor on the romance shelf, which is my like darker romance and mystery books, which is basically just my Jennifer Lynn Barnes books. And then it's The Simple Wild and Running Wild are up here as well. They aren't dark, but they are emotionally wrecking, so I feel like they can stand there. And we have the first floor of fantasies, which is mostly adult fantasies and some Greek mythology or mythologically inspired fantasy novels. Then we have the second floor of romance books, which is basically my cowboy romances, Abby Jimenez's romances, Ashley Poston with Little Clementine over the 7-year slip because lemon pie. And then we have my Emily Henry books as well. So this is just basically a shelf of my favorite romances. Then it's the second floor of fantasies, which is again a continuation of more adult fantasies. But then I am keeping authors' books together as best as I can. So all of Kerri Maniscalco's books are gathered, even though the first 4 in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series aren't fantasy. Third and middle row of romance books, and we have some empty space here, but that is going to be needed because it is Krista and Becca Ritchie's, all of their books that I own, and there are some in this series that I don't yet own that needs to be continued here, and then this series is going to be continued, and then the Cobalt series is coming this year, so that space is going to be filled eventually. Next we have the third floor of fantasy shelves, and that is all of my Sarah J Maas books, along with a printed fan art of Rowan and Aelin. Next we have the 4th floor of the romance shelves, where I have my Ali Hazelwood books, Jessa Hastings and Chloe Walsh books, which is basically a shelf of my favourites, and the Lily Gold books could fit in there when I put the Ali Hazelwood books like this, so therefore they are there. The 4th floor of the fantasy shelf, which is just a combination of fantasy books that are kind of giving the same vibe a little bit. Have the 5th floor of the romance shelf, which is basically summer romances, some sports romances, and just a gathering of romance books that I love. I have the 5th floor of the fantasy shelf, where again this is like young adult fantasy novels that I love. I basically almost only have my absolute favorites on my shelf now. Then we have the floor shelf of romance books, which is again mainly sport romances, and then just some favorites. Then lastly, the last floor of my fantasy shelf, which is some pirate books, some YA fantasy, and yeah, just a gathering of fantasy books. I am exhausted, but I am also done. I'm really happy though. I think it turned out well. It looks really pretty. It looks really full. My god, what am I gonna do? I have too many books. The authors that I love need to stop writing so many books, but at the same time I really want to read more books of them, so please keep writing as fast as possible. But also, like, there's no more room in my shelf for you guys. You're producing too much. I'm looking at you, Ali Hazelwood. No, I love Ali. We're still like in the midst of moving, as you can see. We definitely haven't gotten everything in its place yet. It's gonna take a few more days. The spacing is gonna be a little bit of an issue eventually, but I'm not focusing on that right now because it's not an issue right now. So I'm just gonna leave it as it is. The cart will eventually be filling. I have some more space. I have some ways that I can move them around and change a little bit to get some more space. So I do feel like I'm good, and also it's temporary that I'm staying with my mum, so eventually I will be moving again. As always, have a nice day, a nice week, a nice month. Be kind to each other always, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!